let's focus on the IT sector once again. Apurva Prasad, research analyst, IT sector at HDFC Securities, is joining us now. Apurva, thanks so much for joining in. Your view on the numbers that TCS reported, but more importantly, the commentary from the management that we just heard a while back. And what is your recommendation on the stock now?
Good morning. So we remain positive. It's been our topic in IT. I think there are some of the factors around Europe, which we had put out earlier, those are favorable. Some of the onshore hiring factors start to become favorable for the company. So essentially, our numbers are not changed too much. I think margin positive ahead of estimates. I think that's the key standout. On the deal side also, what that does is that gives a greater visibility on the acceleration for FY25. That's
okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you continue to remain positive, based on that margin beat. Hi, Apurva, good morning and good to see you in. What's the read-through for the industry, though?
So, in terms of execution, and if you look at some of the factors driving that outperformance, I suspect some of the companies could show a similar trend because it's essentially getting subcontracting lower, and subcontracting levels have gone back below pre-2013-14 periods. So I think some of those factors could also play out for other companies, and that's something that we've said that I think from operational environment, I think a lot of factors remain favorable. The fact that attrition is at below pre-COVID levels, and some of the operational levers continue to be tracked. I think those would enable, which is why we do expect margin expansion for a lot of companies in FY25.
You have Infy's numbers as well this week. What are your expectations?
Yeah, so Infosys, we expect them a flat sequential performance on the revenue side. We were expecting TCS to outpace within the tier building in much higher levels of bookings. Infosys should certainly be more flat on a sequential basis. We're expecting them to probably guide to 5% or so. So I think anything above 5%.
Right. Apurva, in mid-caps, your top idea?
Prashant, so persistent is something that we've liked consistently. I think drivers, growth premium versus peer set, margin expansion play, sustainable play, also something to play on the Gen AI side. So pick most balls.
So you said that you're positive on TCS, but on Infosys, I didn't get the call. What's the medium-term call on Infosys? What's the target price now?
Yeah, we do have an ad rating on Infosys too. We do have an ad rating, but between the two, we see a bigger upside in TCS. We think the outperformance in TCS will continue. So within the tier one IT pack, we have an ad on TCS, Infosys, and LTI Mindtree, and reduce on Wipro.
On the valuation front, do you think there is a lot more upside for a name like TCS, considering that it's sitting at premium valuations already? Do you think that would limit its upside?
Not really. If you sort of compare to the 5-year average, it's pretty much there. I mean, 5 years, 27 times. They are about 25 times FY26. Even if you see on a PEG, which has been more like 2.4, which is where our target multiples are. I suspect there is still probably some room for multiples to go up in a scenario that there is an earnings upgrade. And if you look at the sort of the earnings estimates have been most resilient there, and that should also be another factor as things start to rise.
Apurva, one last point. For the kind of growth that at least large cap IT will show, and we've already had numbers from sort of TCS, right? Investors have a choice. Within, of course, I mean, if you're an IT investor, then this company or that company. But growth here as compared to, I mean, other sectors, just this is a slightly broader question. You think it's exciting enough for the sector to do well, even in FY25?
Yes, look, I think a big part of performance, stock performance probably driven post the Fed pivot in post-November. So if you sort of zoom out and what's led to the bigger sort of uptick there. But look, even if you look at fundamentally, we're saying that it's certainly bottomed out. One can make a case that margins have bottomed, growth has certainly bottomed now. Where that gradient of that uptick that's something that remains to be seen. But we do expect an acceleration. The good thing is that the deals that they already have in bag and those have been ramping up, that gives a reasonable amount of certainty into acceleration for 25. So 25 versus 24. So in case of TCS, for example, 3.5% is accelerating to 6.5 or so. We're looking at 200, 300 basis point acceleration broadly. I think that's a good situation.
Okay. Also, TCS, the CEO said that AI will be the X factor on determining how fast clients are spending, right? So perhaps a lot of these companies that have an exposure to generative AI will be in focus. But thanks a lot, Apurva, for joining in. Thanks for giving us your thoughts.